We are the learners and makers. After 2 days of driving from Western Oregon to Southern California, we have come to the first stop of our 4,580-mile, 6-week road trip. Disneyland, where Jodie has been to Disney many times. It was the first time Anthony and the kids were going to experience the Disney magic. Would Anthony finally be cured of his long-time Disney skepticism? If you need to convince somebody to go to Disney, this video is for you!
Or, if you need to convince somebody to go to Disneyland, start pretty much on the first date. Have you ever heard someone talk about how a trip was a long time in the making? So, Jodie and I started dating in 2005. And also what started in 2005 was Jodie telling me about how much I was going to love Disneyland and how we had to go. She went a lot, her parents went a lot, and I was going to go someday. She wanted to take her kids someday, and damn it, we're going to love it. I have been hearing this for 17 years.
Well, if you had gone earlier, you would have been able to stop hearing about it. I mean, this is really simple. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
To let my imagination run free.
To let my imagination run free.
To love the magic of others.
To love the magic of others.
To let the magic in me shine like the sun.
To let the magic in me shine like the sun.
To always be with trusted grown-up.
To always be with a trusted grown-up.
And above all.
And above all.
To learn.
To learn.
To make.
To make.
And to have fun.
And to have fun.
Our original plans for Disneyland were during the fateful
little year you might have heard of,
2020. So this was not only a trip that took many years of convincing, but then was delayed further because of COVID.
At the same time, when it comes to changing travel plans, delaying travel plans, you find ways for things to work out for the better. And I think actually this trip getting delayed worked out so much for the better because the kids were a little bit older.
Yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they handled the walking and everything better than
there were things of their own gear they could carry, they had more stamina, and they were just even more into it than we ever could have hoped.
They would have been into it in 2022.
They would have been into it in 2022. Yes.
Also, I should say 2020 also.
Yeah. You pretty much had me at let's ride a train.
Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto it's a small world just below us.
Well, so this felt, I think everybody had different things that they mourned from that year. Things that were canceled, things getting sick, just all sorts of different things. And for us, this felt like healing some of that. We've traveled a lot, even during the pandemic, but we did it in very kind of isolated ways. There was a lot of outdoors, a lot of camping, a lot of hiking where we were doing something, where we were experiencing something new. We were traveling, but it wasn't however we wanted to.
Yeah.
And this was really our first trip that we took that felt like we were kind of entering the world a little bit more.
I mean, it's hard to enter the world more than going into Disneyland. We knew we were going to be around tons and tons of people, and it felt like we were getting back to just our own intentions and our normal for our lives.
Yeah.
first road drop. I kept thinking back to this conversation my dad and I had a little before we left for Disney. You know, my dad is kind of where I got my first tastes of travel, like road trips and whatnot, when I was a kid. And he said to me how glad he was that we were pressing on and doing this trip, because he's like, you know, Anthony, I'm getting near retirement. There's still all these things I haven't done, wish I'd done. And he said, you and Jodie, you're doing them. And it was a really wonderful moment. And I said back to him that the thing that we kept trying to focus on was that no matter what was happening, there's still no pause button on our kids' childhoods. And I feel like we have tried, you know, every parent has tried to roll with these last couple of years in whatever way they could. We have tried to be really determined about getting our kids on trips, because that's what matters to us, and doing lots of different things out in nature, out in different places we haven't been before, because that's what we've always wanted to do with them. And this, I think for me especially, was we are really getting back out there in a big way.
All right, what are some of the things you didn't like about Disneyland?
The Incredicoaster!
Yeah, why not?
That's California Adventure.
Same thing. We're talking about both.
It makes you feel like you're gonna die.
It's too much, huh? Aster, did you have anything you didn't like?
No, I don't think so.
You liked it all?
I don't know for sure.
Aster, what did you like?
Oh, Goofy Sky School.
The things I let myself get talked into! What are you doing to me, kid? Oh my gosh! I love my family. I love my family.
I know another thing I didn't like.
What?
The lines.
The lines?
That's not a roller coaster.
They were part of Disneyland.
Yeah. Okay. So what are some of the things you liked, Connor?
Goofy Sky School.
Goofy Sky School.
And?
Jumping jellyfish.
Jumping jellyfish was fun.
Rise of the Resistance.
Oh yeah.
Smugglers
Run! Jinx!
What did you kids like about Rise of the Resistance?
My favorite part was when we were going around on that little wheelie thing, and then we saw the little bot. in the elevator shaft.
Oh, yeah.
Aster, what did you like about Rise of the Resistance?
Everything.
I told her this will be vital for your interrogation.
Right.
You'll all be held in long-term holding for your actions with the resistance.
Aster, what did you like about Smuggler's Run?
Being the gunner.
Why?
Because it was fun. It's more fun than being the pilot.
I preferred pilot, though I would prefer to just pilot by myself. Sometimes I very much understand the expression, if you want it done right, do it yourself.
What did you like about being the pilot, Connor?
Control! Also, I was very good at it.
So are you kids glad that we finally got to go to Disneyland?
Yes.
Yes!
Yeah, we should
I mean,
go back
you
ever,
said
ever
that
again.
you had been planning this trip since before you two were married, right?
Yep. So we went to Disneyland, and we went to Disney California Adventure, but you never ever want to go back again?
I want to go back again.
When I hate you, say ow very loudly.
Ow! Last day at Disneyland is full of so many mixed feelings. I'm over here in Galaxy's Edge while Jodie and the kids are in line for the Matterhorn. I thought about Matterhorn, but not this trip. I, however, got to see Moana, my favorite Disney movie. One of my actual all-time favorite movies. And the whole character thing really just hit home for me. She asked me how I was liking Disney, and I told her I was having more fun than I ever could have imagined. There you go. So we now have a family of 4 diehard Disneyland fans.
Yay!
Just like you always wanted.
We'll definitely be going back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, 'cause we didn't get to ride the Mark Twain paddle boat. Want to ride the Twain?
While we were at Disney, I opted to use a wheelchair, which isn't my normal way of getting around, but Disney is just too much walking for what I can handle at this point. And it might always be too much walking.
Well, I mean, when you're at Disney, we were doing basically the entire Disneyland park, and that's easily 10 miles of walking.
Yeah.
Going around different attractions. So for when we talked about this beforehand, it was also a priority to make sure that Jodie wasn't just expending all of her energy just going between attractions. So using the wheelchair also really helped her marshal her energy for the stuff that mattered most. And it did not hurt that the kids really loved pushing you around.
They did love to help.
They took a lot of pride in being like, we're helping Mama get around Disneyland.
Yes, they really like to help. Mm-hmm. It's just a reminder to me that my disability looks different depending on the situation. So sometimes I need to use a wheelchair. Most of the time I'm walking with my prosthetic leg, or my robotic leg as we like to call it. And sometimes I have to use my crutches, and it just depends on where we are, what we're doing, and there's a wide range. And how much you use any of those things differs from person to person. Thank you so much for joining us today. You can see our everyday adventures on Instagram and TikTok.
Also check our website, learnersandmakers.com, for more in-depth family travel guides.
And if you haven't yet, click subscribe and hit the thumbs up button for this video.
And stay tuned, we are just at the beginning of our 6-week adventure.
Next time,
No more Disney magic.
it's the night of despair. What are you getting? Oh!
No matching t-shirts, but I do love my wife a lot. One of the things you learn traveling is you can never do everything in one trip. Like right behind me, the Mark Twain paddle boat. It's closed for refurbishment right now. Those things happen. So you know what? Next time, Mark. Next time.